Hi family! Today I'm going to be making a recipe that combines two of my all-time favorite ingredients, apple butter and oatmeal. So get ready for a mouth-watering treat that's going to become your new go-to cookie. I'm Buffy and welcome back to Buffy's Flavorful Journey if you're new here. In this video, we'll be making apple butter oatmeal cookies. These cookies are incredibly delicious and so easy to make and quick too. Now I know some of us out there, well, it's daunting to be thinking about making a homemade cookie, especially if you're not an experienced baker. You're new to baking. I was there once too. But don't worry, this recipe is super simple and beginner friendly. So even if you've never made cookies before, you can follow along with us and make something incredible. So let's go. Let's get started with the ingredients. In this bowl are the dry ingredients: all-purpose flour, rolled oats, baking soda, salt, ground cinnamon, and nutmeg. And I have whisked it together a little bit. We'll set that aside because we need to start with the wet ingredients. So in here I have granulated sugar and packed light brown sugar. And I'm going to cream that with 1 stick of butter, which is softened. It's set out for a while. The oven is preheated to 350. The only other ingredients we'll be adding will be 1 large egg, of course, the apple butter, and some vanilla flavor. You want to beat the sugar and the butter until they're light and fluffy, well combined. Now we're going to add in the egg. And you mix that until it's well combined. And now we're going to add the apple butter and the vanilla. This is half a cup of homemade apple butter. I'll link the video to where I made this apple butter so you can watch that. It was the first time I ever made apple butter, and it turned out phenomenal. And then we add the vanilla. Always shake up your flavor before you add it. That will reincorporate the contents of the bottle. Recipe only calls for 1 teaspoon, but whenever I bake, I use 2 tablespoons of flavor. And we mix this until smooth. Just want to stop and scrape down the sides and the attachment, paddle attachment, to make sure we're getting everything mixed in together. Now we gradually add the dry ingredients. So I'm going to probably add about 1/3 of it now. You mix until just incorporated. Add another 1/3. And here's the last of it. You do not want to overmix. Again, you just mix in the dry ingredients until incorporated. And that's it, easy peasy. Takes you longer to weigh out or measure out your ingredients than it does to actually make the batter. Let me unplug it. Always unplug my mixer before I start moving it. Here's my cookie sheet that I've lined with parchment paper. I need to get my cookie scoop. It's really a jumbo ice cream scoop, but I use it for cookies. I'm going to go over here so you can see what I'm doing. And we just scoop it out. Some cookie recipes have you put the batter in the refrigerator for 30 minutes or an hour or so. This recipe doesn't call for that. Now, quick tip. If you want to add some extra texture and flavor, you can mix in some chopped nuts or dried fruit like walnuts or raisins, about half a cup of either one. And you will add that right after you have added your dry ingredients. My siblings and I don't really like nuts or anything like that, so I didn't add it. Plus, this is my first time making this, so I want to taste just the cookie, see if we like it. I will say this, it smells good. I can smell the cinnamon, the apple butter, a little bit of the nutmeg. So if it tastes anything like it smells, this is going to be a really good cookie. Now, if you use a regular size cookie scoop, or you do it by, I guess, tablespoon or teaspoon, you'll get supposedly 24 cookies. But we are of the belief, go big or go home. So I use this jumbo scoop whenever I'm making cookies or cookie dough. So I only ended up with 8 cookies. But that's okay. Because you saw how easy it was. I can whip up another batch really quickly if I needed to. Let's see, I'm gonna add that to that one. And a little bit there. Okay. Now, this goes into the 350-degree oven for 12 to 14 minutes, or until the edges are golden brown, but the centers are still slightly soft. And then you'll cool them, and then you sit them on a wire rack to cool the rest of the way. I will be back when they are cool and we're ready to try them out. Okay, here they are. Here's the done cookies. They ended up cooking about 20 minutes. And teachable moment. Remember, I had 8 cookies on there. Here's the 7th and 8th cookie that I put out. Well, that was number 7, and that was 8 that I scooped out and put on here. And you see how they spread compared to these? It didn't spread as much. That's because I kept working with the batter, scooping it out, and made it warm, so it spread. So whenever you cook homemade cookies, if they spread, it's either because the batter's warm, or maybe your butter was too warm. And the ways to combat that, add a little bit more flour to the recipe when you're making your cookie dough. And what I'll do with these next time I make them is I'll put them in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes or so, or up to an hour before I bake them. The recipe doesn't ask for that, but because they spread, I know I need to do that. I know it wasn't the butter because it was soft, but it wasn't uber soft, not too warm, so I know it wasn't the butter issue. Of course, I could also add a little bit more flour if I wanted to do it that way too. But again, here's the finished product. The apple butter gives these cookies a unique flavor that's both sweet and slightly tangy, perfectly complementing the hearty oatmeal. I'm going to eat one of these that's spread out. Save those nice looking ones for my siblings. That's what it looks like in the inside. You see how moist that is? Very easy to make, and they're delicious. So whether you're a pro or a complete novice, you can whip these up. These are good. These are a keeper. Oh, dropping crumbs. Now it's your turn. Try making these cookies and let me know how they turn out. Also, let me know what variations you use. Do you put some raisins in there, some nuts? What do you do a little bit differently? Let me know in the comments. Thanks so much for watching, family. Appreciate you all. If you haven't already, like the video, leave a nice comment, and subscribe to the channel. Till the next video, happy baking with Buffy, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now. Okay, I'm back. I ate that whole cookie, and then I thought, what about that leftover frosting? So, I'm going to get a little bit of that flat cookie, put a little bit of frosting on there. It's been in the fridge, so it'll be a little hard to frost. Okay. Now I'm gonna give this a try, because I like the cookie, but it wasn't sweet enough. But I have a big sweet tooth, so. And there's the frosting. I like the cookies, but I like it even more with the frosting. Okay, bye for now, for real this time.